convincing?
Very much so, my diamond.
Pearl, one of the most complex characters in Steven Universe, carries her past like a weight on her shoulders, and two of her behaviours, her refusal to shapeshift and her disdain for eating, may be symptoms of deeper trauma. These behaviours could stem from her haunting experiences surrounding pink diamond, rose quartz, and the secrets she had to keep. Let's uncover the layers of Pearl's psyche and see how trauma shaped her aversion to these two actions. To start, we need to revisit one of the most pivotal moments in Pearl's life, the staged shattering of pink diamond. This wasn't just an elaborate ruse, it was a traumatic event that left a mark on Pearl. As part of the plan, Pink Diamond ate the fake shards of her shattered form. Pearl's reaction to this was immediate. Her discomfort was written all over her face. Why did this bother Pearl so much? Those were hyper-realistic shards, indistinguishable from the real thing. It was convincing enough to fool the diamonds themselves. Pearl was more or less staring at a makeshift corpse, and then proceeded to watch her diamond swallow it whole. I personally won't have much of an appetite after that either. This staged shattering was a moment of sudden change for Pearl. It was the beginning of her living a double life, carrying the burden of a lie so immense it altered the course of her existence. It's possible that Pearl's disgust toward eating is intrinsically linked to this moment, where the act became a symbol of deception, loss, and guilt. Now let's talk about shapeshifting, a gem ability that Pearl almost never uses. Like her aversion to eating, this behaviour can also be traced back to the staged shattering. To pull off the hoax, Pearl had to shapeshift into rose quartz to complete the illusion. During this moment, Pearl cried, even though she knew the shattering was staged. Why? Because on some level, she was mourning. She was mourning the loss of Pink Diamond's identity, the life they had shared, and the future she had envisioned serving her diamond. For Pearl, shapeshifting wasn't just a physical transformation. It was a symbolic act of erasing the person she loved most. The trauma of this moment likely left a psychological scar, making it unbearable for Pearl to shapeshift again. But this wasn't the last time Pearl shapeshifted. In a piece of artwork revealed by Rebecca Sugar, we see Pearl shapeshift into Greg in an effort to make Rose happy. While the canonicity of this artwork is debatable, it's still a powerful example of how Pearl's shapeshifting was tied to sacrifice and pain. She saw Rose growing closer to Greg, and in a desperate attempt to win back her affections, Pearl shapeshifted into him. Once again, shapeshifting became an act of emotional suffering for Pearl, reinforcing her aversion to it. It's important to note that gems don't need to eat or shapeshift. These actions are completely optional, yet Pearl's behaviour stands out compared to the other crystal gems. On one end of the spectrum, we have Amethyst, who embraces both eating and shapeshifting with reckless abandon. In my previous video on Sugilite, I explored how Amethyst's excessive use of these abilities ties to her identity issues and desire for acceptance. On the opposite end, we have Pearl, who avoids these actions entirely, almost with disgust. Garnet, as usual, falls in the middle, engaging in both sparingly, but without strong emotional reactions. When Pearl explains her disdain for eating, she says it's unnecessary and she doesn't like how it feels. While this might be true on a surface level, it's also likely a cover for the deeper, unspoken trauma tied to Pink Diamond's staged shattering. After all, Pearl has a history of hiding her true feelings, especially when it comes to her past. Despite her aversions, Pearl ultimately overcomes these barriers for Steven. She eats with him, and she even shapeshifts in his presence. These moments are drawn with particular attention by the writers, showing her progress in confronting her past. It's a testament to Pearl's growth and her love for Steven that she's able to face these traumas head-on, even if it's uncomfortable for her. It doesn't erase her pain, but it shows that she's healing, step by step. Pearl's refusal to eat and shapeshift isn't just about personal preference. It's a window into her complex history of trauma, guilt, and loss. These behaviours are deeply tied to the staged shattering of Pink Diamond and her complicated relationship with Rose Quartz. But what's remarkable about Pearl is her resilience. She carries the weight of her past, yet she continues to grow, not for herself, but for Steven. Her journey is a reminder that healing is messy, but it's possible. What do you think about Pearl's aversions? Do you agree they're linked to her trauma? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more in-depth Steven Universe analysis, as well as other animated shows. See you in the next one.
Wow, good for her.